Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at your final technology project for the spring. Again, you can start working on this anytime you're ready. However, we're still learning what to do. So you may need another week or so to finish it completely. But here is what the project is. You're going to have access to some data. And so when you click on that, you will get the data set of interest. The data set includes randomly surveyed data, students, right, were randomly surveyed in 3 states: South Carolina, California, and as you can see, there'll be some more, a lot of California, Montana, and South Carolina, SC. And there's a lot of variables they were surveyed on, okay? Whether how old they were, if they're vegetarian or not, and so you can see the different categories. And then also their ratings of their importance of reducing pollution, travel time to school, right? Those ratings are from a rating from 0 to 1,000 in terms of their importance. And you got how much TV they watch, how much do they work, outdoors, spend time, right? Do they prefer to be rich and famous, healthy, happy, right? There's a lot of things. And that, again, comes from this link here from the 3 states. And then you will see these are the variables that they were surveyed on. And this is real data that's collected by U.S. Census at school, okay? And so these are students in grades 4 through 12. The data we have, our sample, our population here, is 9th graders, 9th to 12th graders. So we're looking at high school students. And so your goal is first to understand the data. And so I may have given you some of the answers here, but answer these questions. And so make sure you have that laid out. What does that look like? Part 1, part 2, okay, and so forth. So in how you present it, whether it's in a Google Doc or probably a Google Doc or some document that you will then list part 1 and then answer these questions. That's what we have, okay? And then you have your variables here. So part 2 would be you forming some questions. And so we've been studying in the class these different types of tests. So far we've gotten the 2 proportion, 2 mean. So this is where we're going to be comparing groups, right? And so there will be what question could we answer comparing 2 groups? Right, so there's a lot of different groups you can compare. You can compare vegetarians with each other. You can compare students living in state vegetarian and not vegetarians. You can compare California versus South Carolina. So you want to look at different groups, right? And those would be the categorical variables that you need to compare, right? And so you want to make sure mean test, then know which test. That would be a 2-sample mean t-test. And then we're going to finish learning, of course, all these other ones. Test for independence, ANOVA, linear regression. And so for part 3, so this is you just coming up with questions in that null and alternative. That's it. You're not doing any calculations, okay, for part 2. No calculations needed for part 2. Okay. Next would be part 3 is where you're going to go ahead and do something. So one of the questions, circle one of the questions below to analyze. So you have one of these questions here, and you're going to try to answer that question using statistics. Define the parameter, right? State the hypotheses, name the procedure, and then use the artist stat to do those calculations. And then what is the answer to that question? What's our conclusion? And then you have an application number 2, same thing. Here are 3 questions. You choose one of those questions to answer. Same process. Application 3, pick one of the topics below again, and then you can answer the question again. Well, again, you're exploring this is a topic versus a question, right? And so you need to come up with how to figure out how to answer this question. How would you do that, right? And so this will be something where you have to discuss what that is and then really thinking about what is your question. Because once you have the question, then you can answer your just like this, then you can figure out what test you need to run. Now, if you want extra credit here, you come up with your own topic from the data, but maybe these are just using this, okay? And then part 4 is the reflection on statistical practices. This is where you will select one of your application problems from here, from part 3, and then do the 5 steps, answer these questions for that. That would be it. So that's what the Technlogy project is. Very doable, looks long, but don't be afraid of it. I'll make another video showing you how to copy data and paste it in. Okay, we'll do that separately.